Imagine my shock discovering that the CEO of Red Thread Games, the creators of Dustborn, is an extremely racist human being. A white dude that lives in Norway that's predominantly white doesn't like white people, and it makes you ask the question of how much money do you get from funding sources to implement people of color into your organization for you to hate your own color? What's going on, guys? Welcome to another episode of Smash JT, and this story, while not a shocker to anyone, is particularly interesting, finding out more information about the CEO of a company that created the wokest game I've ever seen in my life, called Dustborn. It really takes somebody with zero ethics to throw your entire moral code out the window to ensure you can continue receiving funding to get propaganda out there. But yeah, sure, the video game industry is just perfectly fine these days. Hit that subscribe, give me a like, and check out SmashJT.com for the full article discussing how the CEO of Red Thread Games, the creators of Dustborn, by the name of Ragnar Tørnquist, may just be the most racist CEO in gaming. And yeah, I know, these days, that's saying something. Dustborn just can't seem to catch a break these days, and for good reason. Now it feels like the dam has burst. Thanks to the Internet Archive Wayback Machine, while the forums over at Red Thread Game have been purged for a while, they have been preserved because the internet never forgets. And there's a post on there that's been discovered, written by the CEO, Ragnar Tørnquist, back in 2015, that is just completely hating on white people because white people. In response to Shitbot on their forums, who asked, "I'm sure this is just a tremendous coincidence after all, where in the course of 3 games would Ragnar have the time or opportunity to introduce a positive white male character or a negative non-white character?" And you want to talk about someone who just flies off the handle and is completely unhinged with a response? He was waiting for someone to ask about the race and ethnicity of the color of people in his games for Dreamfall chapters. And man, Ragnar did not disappoint. This is the most effed up, useless, and offensive observation I've read this week. And that includes the Steam forums. I stay away from most discussions these days because the internet is an increasingly depressing and upsetting place, because the internet holds you accountable for being racist, for being a horrible human being. People take you to task on that. They want to make sure you recognize your actions and hold up a mirror to you. And people like Ragnar with this approach can't handle it. But I'd hoped shit like this wouldn't poison our official forum, and since you called me out personally, I feel I'm entitled to respond. So remember, this response from Ragnar is in response to a question asking why you don't have a good character that is white or a bad character that is non-white, which, based off of the games and Dreamfall chapters, it's a fair question. Our team is predominantly white and male. That's unfortunate. Before I even go further on that, our team is predominantly white and male, and the next thing he says is, that's unfortunate. Why is that unfortunate? Like, straight up honest question. Why the hell is that a bad thing? If someone is qualified to do a job, it should not matter what they look like. And oh, by the way, spoiler, you're in Norway, where it's like everyone is white there, okay? But don't let the facts get in the way of a good narrative. That's unfortunate, and hopefully something we can change in the long term. But hey, we live in Norway, and we work in the game industry. Them's the shakes. Wait a second. That's the same thing that Alyssa Mercante tweeted. She said, "Them's the breaks," and she spelt breaks wrong. But still, when she was interviewing a CEO for an indie game, and the CEO was saying, "Hey, you're actually not portraying the story the way it should be," she said, "Sorry, I'm the journalist, them's the breaks." That's the same approach that this guy takes. What is it with these people? As white males, we have absolutely nothing against our own gender or ethnicity, except that it gets dull. Who thinks like this? Like, who takes the time in their day to be like, "Oh, Another white guy, generic white guy at the office. This is dull. This is boring. Like, if you are looking at the skin color of a person and putting that first and foremost in everything that you do, that means that you have a psychological problem. The issue is you, not the people working at the office. We have enough white maleness in our daily lives. Diversity is fun, colorful, inspiring. It makes creative worlds and writing stories more interesting. So he is now portraying people of color as fun because they're colorful. Like, that is the most, like, out of touch, obtuse. How could you even say that about someone else unless you are literally racially profiling them and saying because they are a different skin color, that makes it more fun than the people who are white? What the fuck? What is wrong with you? I actually believe we've failed miserably at diversity in the past. April was white and straight. Zoe, despite her mixed heritage, she's part Chinese, is, by all appearances, white and straight. Clan has darkish skin, but he also has predominantly Caucasian features, modeled after Persians, and he's played by a white actor. Crow, well, he's a bird, but he's also played by a white guy. Westhouse, Emma, Mickey, Fiona, Benreem Salmon, Freddie Mellon, Captain Nebre, Gordon, TLJ was populated with mostly white characters, along with some magical peoples, and most of those were played by white actors. Looking back, I'm actually embarrassed by the lack of diversity, but the world was a different place, and I didn't know any better. This dude has completely gone off the deep end. And remember, this post was back in 2015, before the whole TDS, Trump derangement syndrome, from a dude in Norway that was so indoctrinated with leftist ideologies and Marxist representations in his life that he had completely lost touch with reality. And then the whole Trump situation happened in America, by the way, and it doesn't matter. He was so indoctrinated, he still lost his mind over it. And he continues to go on about why he's wrong about hiring white people at his offices and why he feels like people of color are just better than people who are white. And I'm over here like, hold up, why don't we just hire the people that are most properly best fit for the position that you're hiring them for? And if that happens to be a black person, great. If it happens to be a white woman, great. Like, it literally should not even enter the equation. If these people are suited and fit to do the job that's required of them, then why are you looking at their skin color? Again, I go back to, you're in Norway, where it's like, what, 83% or 84% white? You're not going to find many people of color there. That's like going to Africa and saying, oh, there's too many black people here. It's like, that's what the demographics are for the locations that you're in. Trying to intersect and change the demographics and trying to inject Marxist ideologies into your games is exactly the problem with the propaganda being pushed by these types of people. And you wonder, who's supporting it? Where is it all coming from? And why does this guy feel the way he does? Well, then we get to how he starts bragging about how he has raised $1.5+ million on Kickstarter and an additional $750,000 in production of Dreamfall chapters, along with $300,000 for Dragon and $500,000 for Svalbard. And even on their website, they talk about how they are co-funded by the Creative European Program and the Norwegian Film Institute, and they have all these connections for integrating ideologies to ensure diversity is a large part of the organization. And that is what's perpetuating the problem here, where people are hiring based off of skin color to get government grants to push agendas and ideologies instead of hiring the people who are best fit for the position. And then the propaganda being pushed by him in his own forum, he can't even see the forest for his trees because he's so indoctrinated himself that he thinks all white people are just bad because they are not bringing him the grants. They're not bringing in extra funds. And because of that, the white people should not be at the office. And that's the problem with all of this. The game industry is just another cog in the grand machine of managed decline. It's a house of cards that's eventually collapsing under its own contradictions. You know, once the government funding and grants start to dry up, many gamers are looking forward to that glorious day where quality games can be built to exist and survive based on the demands of the customers themselves, not given life support from the governments in an attempt to indoctrinate citizens with propaganda. Like, the entire machine is looking at the game industry as a way to indoctrinate and change perceptions, change mentalities of people to fit what they want you to think. And this is not like a tinfoil hat thing. It's literally provable with the tangible grants and funds that are being shoved out there in the gaming industry right now. That is the ultimate epicenter of this entire problem. And we have people like Ragnar Tørnquist, who is just out there saying, hey, diversity's good, white people suck. He refuses to act in any meaningful way. You think this is virtue signaling at the end of the day. If he really cared about black people being represented in his games, why isn't he not like stepping down as CEO and saying, hey, there should be a black woman taking my position here because this company needs more diversity? Nope, because he wants to be the CEO still and tell everyone, I'm a good virtue signaler. This is what actually matters. Even though I'm a white dude running this company, just listen to what I say. Don't do what I do. And because of that, we have the ultimate result of a game like Dustborn. And people's eyes are opening up because of it. Anyways, I'm going to leave it there. If you guys want more information, check out smashjt.com for the full article that goes into a lot more detail about just how off his rocker this CEO of Red Thread Games really is. And holy crap, he needs to stop being funded immediately by these governments because his games absolutely suck. I shouldn't say they all suck. Dreamfall: The Longest Journey, before this dude went off the deep end, was an awesome game that I genuinely loved. And then Radical Reggie, great friend of the channel, sent me Dreamfall chapters, and it's a game that I've been meaning to get around to for so long, and I haven't. And then this situation comes up, and I'm absolutely crushed on what I'm supposed to do about it. Life's funny like that. Anyways, if you appreciate what I'm doing, hit that join button. Thank you so much for watching, and as always, you stay smashing.
Smash it,